He said, quote, true desire in the heart for anything good is God's proof to you, sent before him, that it is yours already. Whatever that it factor is, that itch that you have, is God's evidence to you that it's yours. So long as you're willing to claim it. You got a pound of paper. You got to be relentless. You got to network. You got to get to know people that are in positions of influence and knowledge and hope that they will bestow their knowledge upon you so you can be better at whatever it is you aspire to achieve. You have to make sure that when people are asleep, you are. That when people are off, you're working. One of the worst things in the world is somebody that has a 9-to-5 job and seems proud of it. A job is something you do that you have to do to pay your bills and to maintain or elevate the quality of life. A career is what you want to do, and it just so happens to do that too. You make decisions. And some older folk in here and beyond should be proud of being in that position because they pound the pavement and sometimes things work out for you and sometimes they don't. And so you find a plan B and a plan C and you make it work. But when you're young and you got your whole future ahead of you, and you're that lackadaisical, you deserve what you get, which is close to nothing. My little niece sitting there crying because she's 21 years old and she got a boyfriend and I don't like him and I told her to get rid of him. Why would you say that, Steve? Why would you say that? Because the man came to my face with a straight face, 22 years old, his whole future ahead of him, and did not say this is what he is doing. He said he aspired to do, be a sanitation worker. Really? Have you lost your damn mind? I don't have a problem with a garbage man. I have a problem with a 22-year-old whose aspiration is to be a garbage man. That's garbage. You got to go. You ain't got to stay home, but you got to get the hell out of here. You can't be with my niece. They ain't happening. But notice what I said. I'm not talking about the job. I'm talking about the aspiration. You want to be a sanitation worker, you fill out the forms, you pass the test, and you hope that the government has a job for you. That aspiration, what work does that take? That's as far as you can go. I bring that up because that's the world we're living in. The code behind everything that I just said about that young man is that he don't want it. He's just looking for an easy path to a paycheck. You're not willing to pound the pavement and try to make it happen at age 22 with your whole life ahead of you. Life hasn't slapped you hard enough yet for you to settle for that. That's how the world is looking at you. What I just told you is how an employer looks at you. What I just told you is how an employer is going to judge you when you come before them to try to present yourself and make an argument that you're the best qualified candidate for a particular job that employer may have available to you. It's the real world. It's the world that we live in. And to be successful, you got to want it. You got to know what your gifts are. You got to identify them. You got to push and pursue them. You got to network because you got to understand you can't do it by yourself. You got to purview the landscape and make sure that you understand who out there is good, why are they so good, and what can I do to be better than them. Not by diminishing them and stomping them down and backstabbing them and all of that stuff. You want somebody at your best. You just want to